Hello Scorpio, welcome to your reading. Thank you for checking out the channel. It's the very last day of the month, so what I'm going to be doing for you guys today is a energy check-in. For energy check-ins, what I do is I pull a card for the month that we are in, that we have been in, and see what the energy has been for you and what it currently is for you. I pull a card for what it's going to look like next month. And then I'm going to pull a card for the transitioning period and what that's going to look like. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, you could check out my last month's energies check-in for Scorpio. Or if you happen to be born on a cusp, you can check out your cusping sign. So that's too many cards, not taking all that. So for you, it would be, what would it be? Libra or Sagittarius, I believe. So after I get the tarot or the cards out, so what I'm using is the Thoth tarot deck first off. They're tarot cards, but they sometimes read like oracles. So I'm going to read them kind of like that. They have little words on them that will describe what's happening. And then I'm going to use the Alice the Wonderland Oracle after that to get a little bit more insight on the energies that you might be dealing with. Let that plane pass. Ooh, cards galore. Yeah, sure, we'll take all those. And then I'm going to use the tarot deck after that to clarify. I'm going to use the Welcome to Night Vale Tarot by Jessica Hayworth. And then I'm going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot. At the end of the reading, I will show you the bottom of the deck. I just feel like if I do it now, it's a little too cluttered. So let's go ahead and get into it. For the month that you've had, we have the Three of Discs, Works, and we have the Four of Swords, Truce. So I feel like you've been actually working very, very diligently on something. Very hard working, I want to say. And I want to say that there's like a bit of compromise happening here. Either compromise or a pretend compromise, I want to say. I want to say maybe it feels like a compromise to somebody, but for you it doesn't feel much like a compromise at all. You're just giving in. But maybe that's not true. Maybe there is a compromise happening. For the month up ahead, we do have the Six of Wands, Victory, the Ace of Swords, and the Prince of Wands. So a sense of clarity, truth, and victory is riding in very quickly for you. A lot of thoughts about how to attain victory. I feel like it's going to be a very thought-based month for you up ahead, despite the fact that there's so many wands here. It just feels very thought-based because the princes, all the princes in this deck are the airy part of whatever element they're in. So the wands are fire. He's the airy part of fire. So he's very thought-based, but he's also very passionate. And for your transitioning energy, we have the Six of Discs, Success. So maybe during this transitioning period, there's going to be something that's coming in for you, some success, some financial wealth, something to make you feel like you don't need to worry anymore. And maybe this, I had mentioned a false truce. Maybe that's not going to be a thing that you need to worry about anymore. Maybe this success that's coming in for you is going to give you the drive you need to ride towards this victory. Let's go ahead and get the oracle cards out real quick for this month that we are currently in and have been in. Alright, so we have Curiouser and Curiouser, Discovery, Inquiry, Weirdness, and Curiosity. So, I feel like I almost want to say that you're doing this work, this diligent work, and this having this truce that maybe doesn't feel like a truce. You're doing it to gain knowledge on something because you're a very curious person, maybe even nosy. It seems like something has piqued your interest with this person that you're in a truce with. For some reason or another, you want to know more about a certain situation that they're in. And so you've created a truce where really you're mostly giving in exchange for information about something, I want to say. So we have, for the month up ahead, you've changed in the night. You've changed quickly. So something, I think you're just going to realize something. You're going to realize something, and then you're going to be like, well, I don't need to do that anymore, right? Maybe you're going to realize that this, I guess, nosiness isn't going to pay off for anybody, and it does nothing but make you work harder than what you need to, and maybe you change because of that. Maybe it's something different. I don't know. I'll probably need to get more tarot out to see more about that. So let's go ahead and see what we have for the transitioning energy. Manage to be glad. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. And we have set your course. Know where you wish to go. Have a plan in the right direction. So it feels like with this success, this transitioning period of success, it feels like you're going to like come into something, and then you're going to be able to like maybe accomplish a dream that you may have had. Maybe you're going to be like, you know, I've always wanted to write a story. I'm going to go write that story now. You know, I've always wanted to go see Brazil for some reason. Brazil popped in my head. I'm going to go travel to Brazil. Or, you know, I want to, it could be even something small. I want to be a little bit healthier. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and take a walk every day. It's just something small. Nothing too big. I'm going to make sure I drink enough water every day. Something like that. You're just going to decide something for yourself, and then you're going to actually go forth and go about doing it. Right away, we got the Seven of Swords. So I feel like maybe some gossip is happening around you, or maybe you are gossiping with people for this past month. You've been talking about people, you've been talking with people. People have been talking about you. I don't know. We have the Seven of Wands. So we got two different kinds of sevens here. It feels like you've been trying to fight back on some people, but really it's causing more. Like you see here, he's got the match, the lit match end on the pointing towards the other match ends, which means that it's going to just spark more fire. It's not going to put out any fire. It's not holding back anything. It's going to create more fire. So I feel like you've been maybe unintentionally creating more fire around you. We also have the Fool and the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like you're really wanting to, like, I want to say, despite what people may say or think, you're going to want to start working towards something you've been passionate about. And maybe in your head you're thinking that it can't work, and that's what's been holding you back. But maybe it's kind of like, okay, I only have one life, and am I going to spend that one life, whatever remainder amount that I have, am I going to spend it doing what I'm currently doing, or am I going to do it, you know, what I want to do? So we do have here in the month up ahead the King of Wands. So I do feel like that confidence and that passion is going to start taking place. It's going to come in very, very strongly at the beginning of the month. You're going to, like, really, I want to say set out and do something. Actually do it. Hold on a second. This one fell. we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I want to say that things are going to actually start working out for you because you've finally decided that you're just going to do it. You're not going to sit back and just not do it and make up excuses to not do it anymore. Things like that, whatever excuses may have been. And we have the Seven of Cups, so choices. I feel like there might be an opportunity at the end of the month based off of this, where there's going to be several things you can do about it, several different paths you can go about it. Maybe there are going to be some offers, maybe not, I don't know. But there's going to be something coming in at the end of the month where you need to make choices. So during this transitioning period, we have Judgment, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So I want to say, honestly, this transitioning period feels very reckless. It feels like nuclear. It feels like you decide this, and during this transitioning period, you try and go for it so hard, you burn yourself out. You try and go for it so fast, you end up cutting yourself to pieces, and things just like kind of explode in your face. So that's why we have Set Your Course and Manage to Be Glad. You have to take things a little bit more slowly than what you might want to. You might have to, like, because I know I said that, like, maybe you're not, you only have one life and you need to go ahead and do it, but it kind of feels like instead of going into it at ease, you're gonna just kind of rush into it. Like I had said before, you decide you're gonna be healthy, for example, and you're gonna, instead of like immediately changing all of your diet, immediately changing your whole routine, you're gonna add more exercises, you're gonna do all this stuff. It feels like you're just gonna, if you do it all at once, you're gonna burn yourself out and it's gonna be too reckless. You have to ease your way into something like that. So instead of immediately, I'm going to just cut out everything that's bad for you, that's not the way to go about it. You have to ease in about it. You have to start introducing yourself to healthier things that you like and start cutting out some things that maybe is not so healthy for you, things like that. Just as example, this obviously doesn't have to be about health. It could be about, oh, I'm going to write a full novel right now. Well, maybe you should start by writing, like, I don't know, a few poems or something. Ease yourself into it, especially if you haven't written in a long time, if that is the case. So we have the Ten of Pentacles for the Seven of Swords. I'm getting specifically, maybe there's been some rumors in your family. You've been talking with family members. Maybe about other family members or maybe about other people that's happening in your work life or something like that. But I'm getting specifically like family oriented, that there's been talk about you, maybe amongst family, maybe in a worried way, maybe in a gossip way, I don't know. But we do have the Seven of Wands. I said that you're unintentionally creating more fire. We have the Ten of Cups. Maybe you wanted to create that fire, maybe it wasn't so unintentional. Maybe you're one of those people who just really crave the drama, really crave the, oh, if nothing's happening, I gotta make something happen. Even if you feel like you aren't that kind of person, maybe you kind of are. I mean, think about it. What would happen if you didn't have something to talk about? Would you be okay with that? Or would you be bored? And then you'll know whether or not you actually wanted to create this fire or not. Maybe if that's not the case, if you didn't mean to create this fire, this defensiveness of fighting back or whatever, and you created more fire, and there's the Ten of Cups there, maybe you don't realize there's a fire to begin with. Maybe you're just happy that you're like standing your ground and not realizing that you created a massive fire. So we have the Fool and the Eight of Pentacles. With that we have the Six of Wands, Victory. So I was kind of feeling like that might be the case you're riding very high off of this success and a victory that's happened, or you feel like this is going to be extremely victorious, which is why you might ride into this so very quickly and not give yourself a bit of a pacing situation. I feel like pacing is going to be pretty successful when it comes to this. Maybe you need to learn with this recklessness energy over here before you can, like, get into this good stuff, because this is also good. It's just reckless and very quick. The King of Wands, we have the Two of Swords. So I feel like you're very inspired, very passion oriented, and very quickly going about it, but I feel like to the point where it's almost like you jump into it and you get like, okay, I draw, so I'll use an art example. So you get into it, you sit down in front of your canvas or your sketchbook, you know exactly, you're like, man, I really want to do this, I'm so inspired, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do it. You sit down, you get ready to draw, and nothing. The blank canvas is so intimidating, you just can't come up with anything at all. I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. You go to sit down to write, or you go to sit down to, like, decide you're going to do your exercise thing or whatever it is you're going to do, and you're like, what do I do? That's kind of what I'm getting there. But we do have the Wheel of Fortune here. So I feel like, and then the Eight of Wands here, to clarify that, I feel like once you figure it out, everything's going to go in a way that it's supposed to. The wheel's going to spin in your favor in a very rapid succession. It's going to go in a way that you need it to go, in the way that you want it to go. With the Seven of Cups, let's go ahead and get a clarifier real quick. There we go. We have the Nine of Wands. So I want to say that there's kind of like a defensive energy about this choice thing. If there is an offer, I want to say you're going to be choosy about who gets whatever the heck this offer is about. Like if it is about writing, okay, well, do I want this person to touch my writing? Do I want that person to touch my writing? Things like that. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a choosiness, like very picky about about your choices at the end of the month. You're going to be very picky about your choices, is what I'm getting specifically. And for this Knight of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and Judgment, we have the Knight of Wands. So it is very driven. It's very passion-based. I feel like it is still riding off this victory, and you just jump on the horse again and just start riding off. And maybe you need that to learn that you should slow down so you can get into this energy more so. Or maybe heed my advice. We'll see. So let's go ahead and show you the bottom of the deck. We have for the Rider-Waite Tarot the Eight of Swords. For the Welcome to Night Vale Tarot, we have the Hermit. For the Alice the Wonderland Oracle, we have Follow Your Own Good Advice. Treat yourself and you know what is best for you. And we have the Ten of Cups for the Thoth Tarot deck, Sanctity. So, I feel like there is a lot of like happiness happening here. A lot of filling in your own cup, pouring into your own cup in a way that makes you extremely happy, in a way that makes you very glad about something. It puts you at ease. We have treat yourself, so I feel like these might have to do with each other. Follow your own good advice. Or not treat yourself. Trust yourself. It says trust. I don't know why I said treat. Maybe you need to treat yourself. Maybe you don't treat yourself enough. Yeah, maybe you need to treat yourself. But trust yourself. So I feel like if you trust yourself, you're going to have this, especially if you're going to be choosy about something and picky about something. We have the Hermit and we have the Eight of Swords. So I feel like with these specifically put together, I mean, they don't have to go together, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of isolation and time in your own head about something, a lot of thoughts happening. Like I said, there was going to be a lot of thoughts. I feel like if you get too wrapped up in your own thoughts, you're going to have a lot of doubts, a lot of anxieties about something. So you need to, whenever you feel like you might be thinking about something too much, maybe go out for a walk. Maybe take a break and decide you're going to like bake something instead. Something that kind of distracts you from your own thoughts, because it's very easy to get wrapped up in your own thoughts and spiral out of control. So that's the reading I have for you today, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please comment, share, subscribe, like. That's the other one. Okay.